I have two questions to answer for this video. Number one, can you wash a Nomatic backpack, specifically the Peter McKinnon 35-liter camera backpack? And number two, will it hold up or fall apart to any particular type of washing, like completely submerging and saturating it in water? Also, how exactly do you wash a backpack, especially one as large as this with a semi-rigid underlying structure, because it won't fit in a standard clothing washer? And why do I need to wash the whole thing? Okay, that's like 4 questions, but first of all, why do I need to wash this thing? I'll get to that, but actually I had to wash it twice because the first method I used didn't work for accomplishing what I needed it to do. I'll come back to that as well, but luckily the second method did work, and as you can see, the bag survived just fine and is about as good as new, or at the very least is just as it was before I washed it structurally, but it's cleaner now. But again, why exactly would I need to wash the entire bag? Well, it started to have an slightly overwhelming and particular scent, but not because of Nomatic or the materials of the manufacturing of the bag itself. All of that is great and was just fine. But let's just say it developed a smell because of some foreign liquids. I wouldn't say it's embarrassing, but I am the proud papa of furry children, known as cats, 6 of them to be exact. And well, let's be honest, cats can get a bit catty. No matter how cute they are, they're still animals. Lovable, sweet, adorable, sometimes obnoxious animals, but still members of this family. And let's just say they sometimes like to make things theirs because they don't always like each other. So our cats decided to keep making my backpack theirs by marking it, if you know what I mean. And unfortunately, I don't mean just, rubbing on it. Yeah, the other way of marking it. Take a hint. To the point where there was just a constant embedded aroma deep in my bag that was just not pleasing. And even though I sprayed the affected areas with various cleaners and sprays as soon as I saw the evidence, it started to happen so often that I really needed to deep clean this thing. So I emptied the bag, took it out to the backyard, got some more spray cleaner in the garden hose, and went to town as best I could, spraying and scrubbing. I didn't get the bag fully soaked or fully submerged underwater the first time I washed it. I just tried to spray, scrub, and rinse the areas where I thought it had more smell or more affected areas. Then I hung it up on my shower curtain in the bathroom to let it dry for about a day. And then I was actually going on a trip, a little vacation on an airplane, so I repacked everything and got ready for the trip, and got to the airport, got on the plane, and noticed that the smell had actually somehow gotten worse. Somehow with my initial washing and only getting some water on it, it actually seemed to, activate or spread the smell to more parts of the bag. And the smell just got so much worse. And I even tried those animal cleaning sprays specifically for this type of pet problem that say they neutralize pet smells, but those still didn't work. So at that point, it was either get rid of the bag or try again, but somehow try again better. And at that point, if I ruined the bag by washing it, I really didn't care because I was not going to carry it any longer if I couldn't get rid of the smell. So back to the washing board. I emptied it again, and this time I had access to a large and deep sink in the laundry room, and I filled the sink as much as I could, and I just dropped the bag in the sink and kept filling it with water, just completely saturating the bag. I opened up all the zippers and let the water flow into and out of every part of the bottom of the bag at first, as you can see here, and just submerging it as much as I could because the bag was actually taller than the sink was deep, and I used some regular liquid laundry detergent and the sink sprayer and just started scrubbing everything inside and out. I dunked the outside flap all the way in the water multiple times. Then I just flipped the bag over so I could submerge the top of the bag fully in water while I grabbed some more spray cleaner and sprayed and scrubbed the bottom of the bag. And I just repeated this process for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then I emptied the water, filled the sink again with clean water to try to rinse out the soap and anything else that I had put on the bag. And I was worried that completely submerging the bag and saturating with water and soap might ruin whatever underlying structure the bag was made from, but Nomatic's website lists out some materials like aluminum, nylon, fabric, and underlying padding as to what makes up the bag. And I also, again, just didn't care at that point. I wanted it clean and smelling like nothing. So I just kept scrubbing, spraying, and dunking the bag in soapy and then again in clean water. And of course, then I had to hope the bag dried in time because I was actually out of town on vacation when I did the second washing, and it had to dry before I needed to fly. So this is the bag. I'm holding the bag, so obviously it held up. But let's go to the me of backpacks past to listen to how I got this thing dry. So take it away, me of the past. Of course, then you have to kind of figure out, how do I get this thing completely dry? And actually what worked decently well was I just took the bag and I hung it up on a pipe, and that allows me to then take the back and open it up and hang it. I hung it on this, wood clamp here. I took a piece of wood, I put it in the laptop compartment to hold that open. I took another couple small pieces of wood and put them in the belt slot and in the back luggage slot to hold those open so that no moisture could be held inside those closed compartments. And that way the laptop compartment, all these compartments are open. Anyway, butterflied it open on the back so that the main compartment was open to the air. I made sure this zipper, the side compartment, was open. And then I took, you can see here, and I hung that up there. So again, we kind of have this butterfly shape of the backpack so that all areas are open to this guy, this fan. So I just basically took a regular fan, aimed it up at the backpack so that we have nice airflow over it. And this seemed to work really well. It only took, I don't know, probably anywhere from 8 to 12 hours to dry, but it's been drying here for a couple of days just because I have the time. Just don't forget to also drop this and make sure to leave, the outer little compartment open as well to the air at some point to make sure there's no water left in there. But otherwise, worked pretty well. And for the most part, all of the weird smells in the bottom of the bag that I had to get rid of are mostly gone. And the bag held up quite well. By completely submerging it in the water. I'm surprised it held up so well, but I guess the interior structure is good material, and it is held up through 2 washes thus far. So just got to zip it back up and it's good to go. So yes, the Nomatic Peter McKinnon 35-liter backpack will absolutely hold up to completely submerging and saturating it in water and soap and scrubbing it with laundry detergent and other cleaners. Just be sure to rinse it well to get all of the soap and cleaners out. The bag feels just the same as it did when it was new. It still has this rigid outer structure. The inside still feels soft. It dried very well given enough time and actually dried quite quickly. But I kept constant airflow from a small fan on it both times I was drying it. But again, as you can see, it's good to go. And now I have a bag that doesn't smell terrible. I just have to keep it away from the furry members of this family. And that's a little hard to do because they are so darn cute, but I'd rather have a bag that doesn't offend an airplane full of passengers or me. So I think you can feel secure. If you need to wash this thing, just get it submerged. Swimming pool if you can. Make sure it's your swimming pool, not your neighbor's. But yeah, everything held up well. The bag is just about like new, and now hopefully it will last me a long, long time. That's it. Good luck. Later.
Interesting question.
Shut up, Siri.